Alright, hello guys, I'm back again with another video. So it's some more about Billor at the lease purchase program that they have. This week has been kind of a little bit of a different week, I guess. Didn't get there. We got delivered on Monday. Took them forever on Monday to get me unloaded, which was weird because it was just some plastic pipe. But it took them forever, so we lost that day. Couldn't get the other load that we had booked, so we had to find another load. We did find another load going to Massachusetts, paying $62.95. I wish it was a little bit more, but I mean, take what you get, you know. We'll kind of go over the pay stub with that. They also put me in the tier 2 category this week, which that's because, I mean, I'm not really able to run 700 miles a day with the loads that I'm doing currently. Like this load, I will be able to run pretty much 700 miles every day, kind of. I mean, you gotta really be hauling ass to do that, which means that you're going to be burning a ton of fuel. So I usually keep the truck 65, 70 and just cruise. Because that's your profit is your fuel, and you will see that come into play here in just a minute. Yeah, so we're just gonna kind of jump into that. I did tarp my first load today. I guess that was a couple days ago. That was pretty interesting. Other than that, I mean, everything here has been pretty good. The people here are the communication is still kind of iffy, but I can text and support, and somebody will get back to me pretty quick. I can also text into my dispatch, and he gets back to me pretty damn quick too. I know some people have been having a lot of issues. I don't. Also, I am going to put this out there too. If y'all don't use it, I'll probably put a link in the description or something. If y'all guys need help with y'all's taxes and keeping track of all y'all's bookkeeping and everything else, ATBS is who I use. They charge about $30 a week, I believe, and and they cover like everything for you. And then at the end of the year, you'll have to pay some money for them to do your taxes. Because that form that you have to file with the IRS is actually pretty damn expensive. It's like $500 for them to file that form for you. But they'll have like all of your receipts. They'll have everything broken down for you. They'll also send you quarterly statements of what you need to pay the IRS, things like that, where you can stay on top of all your taxes and everything for the year, and you're not at the end of the year freaking out how to pay back the IRS. But I'll probably put a link in the description or something for that. You can just click on that link, and then it'll take you to their page of how to get signed up and stuff like that. So, but they're pretty good people. I've dealt with them for a few years now, and they're pretty good people. You know, they'll make sure to set up a plan to where you know how much you need to run in order to make money and be profitable. How much money you need to make every week in order to be a profitable business, and things like that too. So they do a lot more than just keeping up with your books and stuff too. They try to make sure that you're going to be in the green every week. But other than that, I guess we can look at my pay statement for this week. Like I said, I'm in the tier 2 this week, so I got paid on Thursday. They just submitted my payment like a few minutes ago. They send you a text whenever your payment has been successfully done or whatever. So they do pay on Thursdays. If you're in the tier 2 or above, you do get paid on Thursdays, which is a lot better than what happened last time because I got paid on Monday. I'm guessing your first week you just won't be in a tier, so you can expect that check to be like a Monday payday, just because of how late they process payroll on that day. But I guess we can go into the tablet and go into kind of what my pay looks like for this week. There was a little issue. I did talk to him about it, but there was a fuel. I did fill up last week on a Thursday morning, And for some reason, I don't know if they just overlooked it or something, they didn't charge me fuel for that. So it came out of this settlement, which kind of screwed up my numbers a little bit for this week. But it's not a big deal. We still made good money this week, so I can't really complain. You know, everybody gets mad because they're not making the $3,000 a week, or the $3,000 to $3.5 every single week. I'm gonna be honest. With having a truck payment, trailer payment, insurance, everything else on top of it, not, you know, making $2,000 plus a week is pretty good money, because you are buying your truck. But a lot of people want to complain because they ain't making big checks. I mean, you're not going to make big checks every single week. I know here their maintenance stuff, I don't know, I haven't ran into any issues yet, but I've heard that sometimes it can be a little bit of a mess. But I don't think it's all that difficult to get things fixed and get things done. With how responsive they are to me, I can text and support, they get back to me pretty quick. I can text and dispatch, they get back to me pretty quick. If I have any issues, I text my dispatch too, and he can get somebody to get back to me usually too. But normally I can just go straight into the support group, send a message, and then they'll get back to me within like 10 minutes maximum. Usually it's shorter than that. So I believe that's probably something that they are trying to fix, is the communication here, because I'm pretty sure that's one of their biggest complaints. So I guess with that being said, we can go into this. There were some questions being asked. All of your equipment is brand new equipment. They give you, I don't remember, 8 chains, I think, 8 binders or 10 binders, 10 chains. I don't remember. They give you 75 bungees, 2 tarps with 8-foot drops. They give you straps. I don't remember how many straps. I know it's quite a bit of straps. Snow chains, winch bar, and then they give you like edge protectors. They give you plastic ones and metal ones. And then they give you some coil racks. So they give you kind of everything that you need to go. The one thing I would say is a ladder. I ran into that issue with this load. I couldn't get up to the top to finish tarping my load. Once I got everything tarped, I just couldn't get up to the top. Now some places have places where you can tarp and do everything, but a lot of places don't, and you will need a ladder. There is some places out there too that'll say that they don't want you tarping on their property. In that case, I call the broker or the dispatch and I tell them that they don't want me tarping on their property, that the load's just not going to be tarped. If they don't like that, then they can just take it off the truck, because I'm not going to pull a load off of somebody's property and then be responsible for it later on down the road, because they wanted it tarped and then it didn't get tarped. But as soon as you pull off of the shipper's property, the load is now your responsibility. So if there's anything damaged or something to it, then that's a whole thing. So if they don't want you tarping on their property or anything, then they can either take it off your trailer or sign the paper stating that what happened and stuff, and then you can just go on down the road. But I'm not tarping. If you don't want it tarped on your property, then I'm not tarping it. That's just the way that's just the way I operate. I'm not taking a risk to go down the road however many miles and then go tarp a load at the Love's truck stop or something, like, oh yeah, now I get hurt on their property, and now it's a whole different thing, so yeah, don't let these companies do that type of stuff to you. But here's my settlement for this week, over here. So like I said, I'm in the tier 2 program. There's my truck number and everything, the pay period. Okay, so the gross revenue was $62.95. My total cost for the week was $4,165. My net take home here was $2,129. Now I am on the phone with them, texting them back and forth right now, because I whenever I came, they had a $300 fuel bonus. I have not gotten that yet, so I've been messaging them about it. They said it was supposed to be on this Friday's settlement, and it's not, so we'll figure that out. But this load picking up on Tuesday, and it's going from Springfield, Oregon to Orange, Massachusetts, 3,000 miles. And this is why I said I wish the rate was a little bit more money. I don't know why they have $62.95 as the gross revenue here, and then down here $62.50. I'm not really sure. I don't know. I don't really care. But this is kind of all the fees. So we have the Billor fee for the load. They charge $937 for that. That's their 18% or whatever it is. I don't remember. And then the occupational insurance is $40. Tag and plate $46. Logbook $45. Trailer rental $300. And then my truck fee $750. And then my fuel $15.06 for the week. Insurance $15.40. Now see, my fuel this week, I was only expecting about $1,200 or so. Really, I expected $1,000, but since they messed up last week, I have an extra $500 in fuel on here, and then insurance of $540. That number too, I think, is high, but I don't know. I think I added everything up on my fixed expenses, and it's added up to $1,700, and I think it's only supposed to be $1,600. So I'm gonna message them about that and figure that out. But for now, I mean, I'm not really worried about it. And then no fintechs or anything, and then this is their tier program again. Like I said, they did send out my payment this week, so we got that going and stuff like that. What else did they do? I think that's pretty much everything. I am trying to figure out if I can like get my own trailer and run under their company with my own trailer. As far as I know, you can, but it's rather difficult to lease a trailer and stuff like that under whenever you're a lease purchase driver is what I'm kind of figuring out. Unless the company goes and does it for you, then you're kind of shit out of luck, as far as I can tell. Other than that, I think so far it's good. You know, I'm making money. It's not, yeah, I mean, I wish I was making more money, but for now, this is what I got. And, next week as well, we have already a load coming back this way, I believe, with the same place, I think, but I'm not sure. I don't remember what he said. But my dispatcher does already have something planned coming back this way, and I think it's paying more money than this one. So, if that's the case, then we'll be in pretty good shape for the next week as well. I am taking my dispatcher to call me the other day and asked if I wanted to take Thanksgiving off. So I will be taking Thanksgiving off. They don't charge you truck payments for that week that you take off. Now, they do have requirements on that, but I don't know. I know that, like, they want you to drive 700 miles a day and yada, 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 but, I mean, if they try and charge me a truck payment while I'm off because I didn't drive 700 miles a day, we're going to have a very big talk about that, because there is no driver, well, I shouldn't say no driver, but most drivers here, if they are trying to make money, they are not going to drive 700 miles a day. That is running 75 miles an hour all day, every day. And you cannot run 75 miles an hour all day, every day. Especially up here in like Oregon and all this shit where you're in the mountains and shit. You're not going to run 75 miles an hour. Hate to burst your bubble, but you're not. And if you are, well then you might want to get off the road before you hurt somebody. Because that is ridiculous to be rolling through the mountains and stuff like that with, that's just not okay, in my opinion. Everybody has their own opinion on things like that and stuff too, but I just personally would rather be safe than sorry. But Yeah, no. I mean, you're gonna have to be hauling ass to do 700 miles a day. I mean, 650. I usually can do like, I usually do like 650 or so. 700, I can do it, but like I said, if you got tarps on your truck and everything else, like, and you got a tall load, or you got a coil or something dangerous that you're pulling, like pipe or coil or something like that, you're not gonna be hauling ass, and you're probably gonna do 600 miles a day. But I would say 600 miles a day is achievable every day, but anything over 600 miles is just a bonus, in my opinion. That's just me though. So I was just making this video to kind of give another weekly update of kind of what's been going on here. If you have any other questions, you can just leave them down below, and I'll see if I can answer them or get an answer to them. I can message and get answers usually pretty quick. So if y'all have any have any questions or anything like that, just leave them down below, and I'll answer them and stuff like that. So, all right.